A lot of people are walking around asking the same question. Why am I here? Why do I do the things that I do? And what most people don't realize is this: when you don't know why you're doing something, you'll eventually lose clarity, especially when it comes to trading. And today, I want to talk to you about why I started this channel, why I started day trading, and why defining your why may be the most important thing that you do on this journey. Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? And welcome back to another installment of Trading with yours truly, Alex. Again, hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the process up until this point of getting your mindset right, aligning your identity, aligning your mindset, aligning in your habits. And we are approaching the charted waters, no pun intended, meaning in the sense of we're about to get into the skill set. But before we can get into the skill set, no, this is not another psychology video, but this is a video that I believe is going to start the skill set foundation. I believe that this is the portion that is going to sustain you throughout your journey. And you'll notice this common theme that most traders aren't failing because of a lack of strategy. You'll hear me say that time and time again. Strategy is not the issue. They are failing because they never defined a reason strong enough to endure this process of trading. It is going to be tough, especially when it comes to losses, when your patience is tested and required at the same time, when nobody's watching you, when nobody's clapping or applauding for you or cheering you on. That's when the absence of why shows up in your journey and in your life. I am a sports guy, but there are two particular sports that I watch, but I don't watch all the way through. And it's tennis and it's golf. And the reason that these sports, I find them fascinating or interesting because these sports are a lot like trading. There's no real team involved, not unless you're playing doubles inside of tennis, but usually it's mano y mano, man versus man, woman versus woman. Golf, it is completely you out there. Yes, you're competing against others, but there's nobody applauding. You putting the work in, you staying up late at night, you not going out on the weekend, the sacrificing. Nobody is applauding you. And this market doesn't reward motivation. It's going to reveal alignment. Now, let me unpack that. What revealing alignment means: it is going to reveal who you are, it's going to reveal how you interpret or how you think, your thought process, which ultimately will come down to what you do in the market. That's what revealing alignment is all about. So it's important again that we align ourselves with this thought process. We align ourselves with this identity and ultimately with this skill set. So why, Alex, why? Why did you start this channel? And I'll tell you why I didn't start this channel. I didn't start this channel to be another trading guru, another know-it-all. I didn't start this channel to impress you or impress anyone or prove anything to anyone or to even sell a lifestyle, because I know that's going on in this influencer day and age, people are selling you the Lamborghini lifestyle, the Gucci lifestyle, the lifestyle of not answering to no boss. You're Mr. Independent, or like Neo said, Miss Independent, and that's why I love her. I'm not selling you this lifestyle. However, this channel was created because of where I was at one point in my trading journey when I was looking for guidance, when I was looking for a mentor. And there were some out there, but I didn't find the ones that really resonated with me and how I thought about the market, because I'm a very analytical person. I like to know the ins and outs of a thing. I like to know why. And then when you answer why, I'm going to answer you with another, will ask you another why, like most kids. Well, why? Well, why? Until we get down to the intricate nuances. And that's just how my analytical brain works. So I needed somebody to be honest with me. I needed a different perspective. I needed someone who was willing to talk to me about the mental and the identity side of trading, not just the charts. This is why I started off this channel with trading psychology, or the life alignment portion, because I knew I needed that when I started this trading journey. I was yearning for that. So the decision to start this channel was to, I call it, and I coined this phrase, is I want to be someone or something in someone else's life that I lacked, needed, or wanted in my own. And I challenge you to do that, to be what is missing in other people's life, or what they're yearning for in other people's life, to be that answered prayer. And so I wanted to be that answered prayer that I was praying in my own life. And I didn't grow up around traders or investors or people who really knew how money worked. Now, I come from a two-parent household, educated two-parent household. Both of my parents have bachelor's degrees. My mom within business, my father within the criminal justice system. So I come from an educated family, but not education in the portion of day trading and investing. No one handed me the playbook. There was no silver spoon given to me. This wasn't handled on a golden platter. This is something that I had to embark on for myself. And there were plenty of sleepless nights. There were plenty of losses, plenty of blown accounts. There were several mistakes. And there were moments where I had to confront not just my strategy, but myself. Trading has exposed and revealed a lot within myself and within my journey over the 5+ years that I have been trading. I had to learn discipline the hard way, patience the hard way, accountability the hard way. Everything that I have gone through, I had to learn the hard way, the hardware, the hard way, excuse me. And somewhere in that process, I realized this. This wasn't just about learning the markets. This was about learning myself. And I'm preaching this, and I'm preaching this, and I'm preaching this like it's a dead horse. This is why this mindset portion was so important, because I wanted you guys to have a reference to draw back on again when we get into the skill set, which is coming throughout the next series of videos. I wanted you guys to have the reference to draw back on. Like, man, if you can master the mental portion of trading, I promise you there will be no limit to what you can achieve in this market and in life. And my introduction to trading, it's funny. I have done some form of multi-level marketing or network marketing since I was 18. And regardless of how you feel about network marketing and multi-level marketing companies, it exposed me to a world I didn't know existed. I started off with the Primaricas, the Amway of the world, did several life insurance, multi-level marketing companies, but then an opportunity got presented to me. You know how people do. Hey, are you open to making money? Who's going to say no? Of course I'm open to making money. You know how the people who are in these multi-level marketing companies slide into your DMs, and or people who you haven't heard from since high school, all of a sudden, hey, I found this new opportunity. I want you to check it out. What time are you available? The whole kit and caboodle, the whole script. And it landed me to a company called I Am Academy, or IML, iMarkets Live. Now I Am Academy. Not sure if they're still around, but again, regardless of the network marketing company or the multi-level marketing company that eventually didn't pan out for me in that retrospect, it still exposed me to what I didn't know was a thing: day trading, charts, markets, risk, probability, day trading psychology. Like, I was familiar with psychology, but nothing around day trading. And that exposure, it mattered. Sometimes we will ignore the biggest blessings in our lives because of the way that they came. Sometimes we are waiting for an opportunity to come in a specific way, and it shows up in an entirely different way. I didn't know that trading was something that existed or that I even desired to be a part of. So exposure matters, because sometimes you don't need the perfect beginning or the perfect opportunity. You just need to see what's possible for you and in your life. And I will beat this dead horse until I'm blue in the face. Representation matters. I am so sick and tired of people saying that representation doesn't matter. Representation matters across all genres, across all businesses, across all religions. People want to see other people who look like them, who come from where they come from, doing a thing that they're curious about doing. It changes what your mind believes is possible. Like, let me be clear. A lot of people don't even have a clue or an idea about day trading or insert real estate, wholesaling, whatever it may be, because of the current environment that they live in, or the limiting beliefs that they're surrounded around. This is why representation is so important, because when you see people who look like you, who talk like you, who walk like you, who come from the areas that you come from, born where you are born, or share some of the same interests, or see some of the same personality traits within these people, they change your limiting beliefs. They change your ability to see that things are possible. And here's why social media is a double-sided coin. It's a blessing, but it's also a burden. But here's why it's a blessing, especially if you use it in the right way. This is why platforms like YouTube are so powerful. This is why platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, Lemonade, whatever other platforms are out there. This is why social media platforms or networking platforms are so important. Is because they allow you to step into new realms and new environments without ever leaving the comforts of your own home. So now This is what I call parasocial relationships, where you're connecting with people who you feel like you know via online. But what these people are doing, they're exposing you to a new idea. They're exposing you to a new mindset. They're exposing you to a new way of belief, seeing that it's possible. I'm going to be real. I don't care about the race card, but the race card is very important. Representation. I didn't see anyone who looked like me doing what it is that I'm currently doing, especially starting off. That's why these multi-level marketing companies were so important. That's how I got introduced to trading, because I'm like, okay, I see someone who they're presenting this lifestyle, but based off of making money online by day trading. Never heard of it, but I'm open to the possibility of trying it out. And here I am 5+ years later, doing the thing that I have been exposed to. Some of you don't even know what it is that you like or what you desire to do until it's exposed to you. So maybe you can't travel the world. Maybe you can't afford to get out and go travel and be exposed to new environments, but you can through social media. You can through YouTube. You can go visit other countries, learn different languages, learn different skill sets. Anything is possible for you if you're willing to expose yourself to a new environment, even if it's socially, even if it's digitally. Because your environment, here's why your environment is so important, because your environment is simply going to shape your expectations. It's going to shape your beliefs. It's going to shape your identity. It's going to shape the way that you see the world. Your environment has the ability to change your paradigm. It does. And a lot of our limiting beliefs and desires to think bigger than ourselves is due to the confines of the box of our own environment. And we need to step outside of that, because it's, again, your environment is going to shape your expectations on what you're expecting and believing for out of life. And your expectations are going to shape how you respond under pressure. Think about it. When you fold under pressure, think about your environment. Think about how you grew up. Think about the people that you were around. What were their mindsets like? What were their beliefs like? And you typically fold under pressure because of different things that you've adapted and pulled from unconsciously from your environment. This is why it's so important, because it's not about FOMO. It's not about you. Oh, you don't know what you're missing out on. Well, you technically don't, because if you've never been exposed to it, you're not gonna know what you have been missing out on. But for me, again, what shaped me getting into trading is, at first it was the money. It was the Lamborghini lifestyle, because that's what I was seeing on social media. Like, okay, cool, I can make it happen. But I always knew that God has birthed in me a purpose that has always been bigger than myself. Always knew that very early on. So when I shifted my perspective from things external to things internal, it therefore shifted my mindset on how I saw the market. Because if you're in this thing for the wrong reason, you won't last long. You won't. If your motivation is just external, you won't last long. If your motivation is just money, you won't last long. You will not. So you need to find a why that is significantly deeper than yourself, that is bigger than yourself. You need to have a vision and a why that's so big that it requires other people, because I truly believe that we were created for the benefit of each other. I truly do. And I want us to pause for a moment. And if you don't have a pen and paper, grab one, like quickly grab one, because I'm going to run you through some practical things that I want you to do before we get into this next series of videos of learning this skill set. So before we get into strategy setup, skill set, I want to challenge you to write your why. I want to challenge you to write a vision and to make it plain, to make it bigger than yourself. Because these are going to be the two things that sustain you throughout the course of your trading journey. So we're going to write a vision for your overall trading. And then I want you to write, why would you even consider doing this in the first place? We got to check to see if the motives are right. Because if your motives are not right, it is going to mess up the mentality needed to be profitable and professional within this market. So here's what I want you to write down. Number one, why do I want this skill? Ask yourself, why would I want this skill? Number two, what does trading represent for my life? What is it going to represent? What is this going to mean for you? Number three, what are you no longer willing to repeat? There are some old things, some old habits, some old ways that have to die out, that can no longer be repeated for you, in order for you to be profitable and successful within this trading journey and even in life itself. There's some things that we can't keep returning to. The slate is wiped clean. So what are you no longer willing to repeat? And here's what I believe to be most important. Who are you becoming through this process? Because everything is about becoming. Because if you can be, then you can do. And when you can do, you'll eventually have the life, the purpose, and the things that you desire within life itself. And I also want to give this disclaimer. Don't be in a rush to share this with everyone. Don't create no added pressure, because it's already going to be pressure enough when you're in this market. It's already going to be enough pressure. So don't be in such a rush to share this with people, because not everybody, and my seasoned traders, those who I've taught in the past before, you're going to know this. Not everybody understands this language. Not everybody understands this community. Sometimes it is frowned upon. So don't be in a rush to share this with everybody. Because sometimes things need to be, what we plant needs to grow in silence. It needs to be incubated in silence. Sometimes our clarity needs protection before it's exposed, because we need this to take root in us first, because sometimes people can stomp out something that's premature. So when you got it, I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it. You can DM me on Instagram. You can drop some of these in the comment section below, but I want to hear about some of the things that you guys have written down. I want to hear your why. I want to hear your vision for your trading journey. And this channel solely exists to bring honesty, alignment, and clarity into a space that doesn't always make room for it. Not for protection, not for perfection, excuse me. Not for my ego, just real growth. And I know some people are like, yo, what's the catch? What's the catch? Like, what do you gain out of this? I'm sure you're going to upsell us any moment. My name is Alex. I have nothing to sell you. I don't. All this information has been provided free of charge. The only thing that it's going to cost you is one, you. It's going to cost you, the old you. Number two, time. It's going to cost you time. This is something that you're not going to pick up within your first week, 2 weeks. This is going to take time. So keep setting aside time to come back and continue on with your learning. And three, please give yourself grace throughout this process. So again, this information is being provided for free. There is no catch. There is no upsell. This was my burden that I asked for. My prayer was that, Lord, if you bless me with the knowledge to retain and the mindset to retain this information and be successful with it, I'll give it back to people for free. So everything that you'll need will be on this YouTube channel. Now, in the near, not even in the near, in the later future, some have already asked me for one-on-one coaching, private mentorship. I have to pray about it. I'll have to pray about that because that's really going to require more of my time and really for me to be meticulous and super intentional with people I decide to coach or mentor privately. And so I'm not guaranteeing you that will be free because that's a whole nother demand. But as far as smart money concepts, ICT concepts, the strategy that I trade, I'm not withholding anything from you. I'm giving it all to you here on YouTube for free. That way you don't need private mentorship. That way you don't need one-on-one coaching. That way you don't need me. This can be sustained without me. So that is my hope. That is my plan. And that is my prayer. And this is why I started trading with Alex. So again, this is all about having a why strong enough, having a vision strong enough to sustain you through the seasons of no applaud, when no one's clapping for you, when you feel isolated, when you feel alone. You're not alone. You have this community, but you also have to have a why that's so deep that you will not be shaken and you will not be moved. So this has been another installment to Trading with yours truly, Alex. You know the drill. If you have been impacted by this video, infected by this video, I sound like Dracula. If you've been impacted by this video, oh my goodness, I don't know what's up with tongue twisters today. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, share this with someone who needs to figure out their why and to have a vision. And until next video, where we get into the nitty gritty, where we get into the things that is going to make you money and you being successful in this market. Until next time, Lord willing, grace and peace, family.